So here we go. I mean, we're bringing on Mariano Huerta, and we're gonna meet him.
I can really see myself, like, she puts herself like to my level. Like,
Yeah.
we can see eye to eye, even if we don't agree with a topic. Like, it feels like I'm talking to, like, directly to a friend. And I'm not saying that not with my father, but it's more of a father-son relationship. And with my mother, I can see her as a friend, like,
Yeah.
I'm just talking to. And yeah, it really helps me whenever I'm having like trouble with something. I know that she's there for me, and also my father. But with my father, it's more of a, he helps me get where I wouldn't have gone otherwise. Like, be alone and be a lone wolf. Just like, keep in mind that you are your best ally.
Everybody in your life is just gonna be like, ooh, this guy.
This guy doesn't need us. Like, he doesn't want
let's
us around.
let's just leave.
Saying that, fucker. Like, I prioritize sometimes like my health
Yeah.
and my stuff because I'm going the one. I'm with me 24/7, so might as well like myself. Bubble. So they were the people that kind of like not necessarily like get me, but like I could be around and not be completely like
Lost.
Not be completely lost. Like, we have things in common, like we played games and stuff, and yeah, we have like similar like mental states. Like we thought we were kind of in the same page. Now we've kind of all drifted away a little. We've tried to, because the whole pandemic and stuff, we don't play as together as often. But yeah, like with you, like.
Welcome back to the Creekcast, everybody. Season 2. We are back from our 2-3 month hiatus. We're here in all our glory.
We missed you. We missed you guys. It's been so long.
Yep.
Hope you missed us too. But now your weekly podcast is back at it again. Bigger, better programs, new
everything.
New everything. It will be
new
fantastic.
Look, new music.
New look. As you can see, wow.
Oh my God.
Our Instagram, our YouTube, our Twitter.
If you're on Spotify, you're not seeing this, but go to YouTube and you can see our Twitter, YouTube, cool. Instagram. Our logo. It's amazing.
Hell yeah.
So you may be wondering, how can we top season 1? How can we start fresh on season 2? Well, today you're going to get to meet one of the guests. Today we're going to go in deep, and we're going to interview the man himself, Mariano Huerta.
This is a 2-part mini-series. We're going to do a Masa 1 next episode. Episode 2 is going to be Meet Your Host Masa, but right now it will be myself. We decided to do this in order for you to actually know who you are talking to or listening to. So yeah, basically just so you get a better hang to who are we as people and what are values.
We want to establish a better connection with the people who listen to us, and we want to really make sure that you can connect with us and maybe experiences that we've had as people, so you don't just see us as people who are like bringing on guests and just speaking, but you never really connect with us. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get to meet Huerta today because
I have no idea who this guy is.
These questions are going in deep. So
I have no idea what are the questions, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm going in blind.
He's going in blind, and I'm really gonna scratch there. So let's see what we get. We're gonna go in with the ad break as we usually do.
As per usual. Our very first ad break of season 2.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Enjoy it, please.
Enjoy. So,
Worship it.
we'll be back in a few seconds. See you back there.
Welcome back from that first ad break of season 2.
Magnificent.
Firewall. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, if you didn't catch on, season 2 is called Firewall. We'll be dropping hints on why. We have our in podcast lore, so keep an eye for that.
We left a subliminal message that only like 3 of you actually got.
Go back to the Instagram post with the glitchiness and try to figure out the code.
Yep.
So
here we go. I mean, we're bringing on Mariano Huerta and we're going to meet him. So let's dwell into the questions as we usually do. I'm going to take these off.
It's kind of bothersome. We had some cool glasses for everyone who's listening.
Some cool glasses. All right. So here we go. Starting off, we kind of need to understand where you come from, your roots. So starting off with, how do you remember your childhood and how was it?
Well, as you all know, I'm pretty old by now. I'm a whole 18 years old by now. So I'm past my peak. I always had a loving family. Nothing too deep there. My childhood has always been fun, as I can remember. A united family, no tragic events, no mysterious circumstances. Just a normal, happy childhood, full of happiness. Just the normal family dynamic, a little bit weirder than some, but I wouldn't say too bad. Real artistic brother, a very caring mother, and a father that really pushes me at every chance he gets to do something new and interesting. So I've been here all my life in Mexico City. I've always traveled, tried to get new perspectives on the world, thanks to my parents, of course. There's not much to it, more than that. It's pretty cool childhood. No complaints here.
So I guess kind of looking more into your childhood, things like what are the things that when you look back now kind of bring you nostalgia and make you the most nostalgic, because we're at that point where we just look back and it's like, those good days.
Good old days. Well, mainly that I can think about, way back, I have this cousin that was like my second brother. And we used to, he almost lived here, and we always like played games and stuff. That's pretty nostalgic. Also playing with my brother, just Roblox on our computers, just on summertime. It's pretty cool. I know I'm kind of a whitezican, if you may have noticed. Aren't we all deep in the core? But going to Bale, it's honestly one of the best experiences I have all around in my life. Just skiing and feeling the snow, or going on the summer and just trotting around in nature. Those are pretty nostalgic moments.
Yeah. I mean, since I met you, that was something that was always branded on you. Always go with the Veil sweater.
Basically, I stopped going to school for a whole month. And, I suddenly get really sick sometimes in the month and don't go to school. Nothing related to trips or anything. My first memory of you was just like first day of school, going there, biology class, and it's like, oh, you're going to be sitting next to this guy. And it's like, oh, hey, what's up? And then the next day, he's just gone for a month. And I'm like, what goes on in this school? Good times.
Good times. So you mentioned your family, and like a pretty straightforward family with straightforward dynamic, always very loved, but kind of going into each family member, per se. Starting off with your brother, because brothers kind of they shape our well, if you have brothers or sisters, they kind of shape your way you grow up, and that dynamic with that person, they become a very close friend at the end of the day. So, what would you say? How close were you, and have you been, and what has his role been in your life?
Well, first off, I think it's important to mention that I'm the older brother, so I think that in it of itself shaped me to be, well, to grow faster than usual, because I've always had like a really distaste for other people in general and the outside world, because it sucks all around. I don't know if I have some hidden trauma there, but basically I try to become stronger and just bigger in general in order to protect my little bro, because he was like, oh, tiny. Well, right now he's taller than me, so but basically just all that dynamic, just trying to protect him. And now, well, he has always been a really creative person. If you have noticed, we have a new intro. It's made by him.
Yeah. All credit goes to him.
Yeah, he also has some hand in all the Creeketz beats.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Those
so yeah, we're basically dead opposites. Mm-hmm. He's more of an artistic, outgoing. Like if you know him, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't, well, fuck. And I'm more. I don't want to say. Well, I'm indoorsy type. But not necessarily reserved. I'm very outgoing. Well, not outgoing, but vocal about my opinions and stuff. But I'm more of a logical, by the numbers kind of guy, and he's more just a music. He's a musician, and I'm
a free spirit.
Yeah, and I'm more of a. I don't want to call myself a scientist because I'm nowhere near being a scientist, but I'm more of a sciencey kind of guy. So yeah, dead opposites, but I think we have a great relationship from the moment he was born. We've never had a moment like a real fight. We've never been like, yeah, fuck you, you're not my brother anymore. We've been like steady for all his years, and yeah, it's pretty great relationship all around.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've met him as well, and it really is kind of like, it's crazy because you expect like the small version but of you, and it's just like completely different person because he's so outgoing, and it's like the artist that's also surprisingly like extroverted, and you and then it's just like you're more reserved in a way, but it's not that you just don't talk to anybody, but it's a much closer circle, I guess.
More picky with who I gather myself with.
And you just hate everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, we also have some things in common. Like, we tend to be sometimes a little too. How could I put this? Too sure of our ideas, too confident, and it may come across as condescending or even narcissistic. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while,
you probably would have noticed.
You've definitely noticed. I mean no harm, but generally, the more I'm confident with a single topic, the more narcissistic I'm going to come across, because I'm really confident with what I believe in. I don't think that's a bad thing. Just keep that in mind when listening.
Yeah, just a massive ego, like absolutely out of this world.
But I'm really humble. I'm super ultra mega humble.
Yeah, the most humble person you've ever met.
Yeah, basically. So yeah.
And also you touched on your parents, your dad that kind of pushes you to kind of be the best of yourself, I guess, and to do the best that you can. And your mom was always more caring and kind of gentle, and I guess that's kind of the main image that we get from moms and dads.
Yeah.
So what did you get from both of them? And again, like the role that they played in the person that you are now.
I mean, I think without them, I'll be I would be a completely different person that wouldn't be.
Yeah,
Here
you
in
quite
the
literally
podcast.
wouldn't be here.
Yeah, well, quite literally, yeah. But I mean, with their influence, I mean,
Yeah.
like first, like my mother is really down to earth with me. Like whenever I have a problem or have to talk about something, I can really see myself. Like she puts herself like to my level. Like
Yeah.
we can see eye to eye, even if we don't agree with a topic. Like it feels like I'm talking to like directly to a friend, and I'm not saying that not with my father, but it's more of a father-son relationship. And with my mother, I can see her as a friend, like
Yeah.
I'm just talking to, and yeah, it really helps me whenever I'm having like trouble with something. I know that she's there for me, and also my father. But with my father, it's more of a he helps me get where I wouldn't have gone otherwise. Because I tend to, well, I used to, like, now I've changed, but when I was little, I tended to, yeah, like, fuck change.
Yeah.
Like, change, no good. And he obviously, my father is like well, not complete opposite, but he's really opposite to me. Like, he's more of a sports guy, and I'm like zero sports.
Yeah, you're a complete athlete. I mean,
Yeah.
PE, it was dominated by you.
Yeah. And basically, he pushed me to like better myself, not only mentally and physically. Like I would be like a fat fuck if it wasn't for him. Like like he pushed me to actually do like my workout and actually like get fit.
Yeah.
Like I actually grow, and just push me to things I wouldn't do otherwise, to the unexplored side, which is a thing that I think I've already analyzed and like put myself to the core of my being to actually put that in practice.
Yeah.
And that's some lessons that will like keep me like for life.
Yeah, I guess kind of what I could kind of say about that. I mean, your mom seems like more of it's kind of like the person that you can like go to in case of more emotional and mental situations, and it's kind of like a comfort blanket in a way. And what it sounds is more like your dad is really the person that takes you to those new heights, that takes you to, you know what, you've done this, explore this now. It's kind of a mentor role in a way that just, I mean,
Definitely.
Obviously a dad is going to be a mentor,
Definitely.
but he really just kind of sets the limits for you and tests you to see, like, do you really want to achieve this, or do you want to stay here and become a fat fuck?
Yeah, basically. He's not gentle about this. Like he could quite literally say it like that.
Yeah.
Which like might seem like harsh at first, but it's what you have to do. I think I've inherited that from my father. I try to have his same character because he has a really strong, like, imposing aura around him.
I've definitely felt that. It is intimidating.
Yeah. So whenever I try to be like in a new situation or something, whenever there's conflict, I would say I put on that, like, let's fucking do this. The whole, like,
definitely
full on. So yeah, it's love them all. I have literally no complaints. It's been a smooth sailing from here.
I mean that's great. And kind of moving on from family a bit, friends are it's something that, especially at this point in our lives, it's kind of like we're kind of going to see what happens in the future, because high school friends usually just end up, you forget them, you move on because it's a part of your life and you leave it behind. And since I've known you, you've had the same group of friends, the same people, the same people with which you've kind of grown up with all the way, basically. And it brings curiosity to know what was the value and what is the value and importance of friends or that friendship throughout your life?
Well, mainly I would say that we lived in a bubble all our lives. So because just the Peterson school, and that's as large as the bubble got.
Yeah.
So not now really, because we have the whole dynamic, but on earlier years, like middle school or just way before, we had only this small bubble. So they were the people that kind of like not necessarily like get me, but like I could be around and not be completely like
Lost.
Not be completely lost. Like we have things in common, like we played games and stuff, and we had like similar like mental states. Like we thought we were kind of in the same page. Now we've kind of all drifted away a little. We've tried to, because the whole pandemic and stuff, we don't play as together as often. But like with you, like I have the Creeketz, so no worries there.
Yeah.
But just like in general, it's been a moment in my life like, damn, I'm never going to see these people again.
Yeah.
Like after this, it's done and done. I would say we had like a Euro trip planned, but I had other plans, so I don't have to go. So I will not go because I can't plan like 2 worldwide trips.
Yeah.
And
Me
with
neither.
money, like
exactly.
I simply don't have the money, and I already picked my places. So it's been a general like drift apart now, but it's just such a small part of your life in general.
Yeah, exactly.
That I don't think it matters too much in the long run.
Yeah.
But because I'm still cool with them. It's not that.
Yeah, of course. It's not like there's beef.
It's just different paths in life, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean that's due to happen. Like the world, like life, just takes you in different ways, and as you say, like, well, you'll hear about my stuff later, but like you grew up in this bubble, and like this bubble was it formed your childhood in a way, and you grew up with this bubble and this group of friends that was really close to you, and me coming from the outside, I kind of noticed that, like head on, you noticed that there were all these groups and bubbles that just stuck with each other. But seeing as time has gone by, I mean, there's been like, you've gone on trips and you've met different people. The podcast, for example, has allowed you to also meet different people.
Yeah.
And it opens your world in a way, and you kind of realize, oh shit, there's more to this.
There's so much more than just like the same group of people. Like, I think that's something that not recently necessarily, but as of coming years, I've been like opening my eyes to it. Like, damn, after high school, I'm never. Well, let's hope never, because I'm still cool with the guys, but. Most likely I'm not going to see them for a really long time. Like, we're going to disconnect. Like, if we're disconnecting kind of now, like once I'm in college in another country.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fingers crossed, right?
And realistically, like, it's just impossible to keep that same kind of relationship that always existed, because for obviously for people who don't know you, it's your group is very much gamer based.
Oh yeah, it's full gamer mode.
Like
it's the most impressed minority of them all. Gamer.
And
that's a joke, by the way.
Yeah, don't take it seriously. and yeah, I mean that ends up kind of it can't stick forever at the end of the day, I think, because people grow and more responsibilities come up, more things come up, more projects come up. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a part of your life that kind of drifts away at some point for everyone.
Yeah, it's just life in general. So not too upset about it.
Yeah.
But keep moving forward. That's all I have to say to people who are struggling with the same thing. Just life moves on. You meet new people. It's
not the end of the world. So obviously we touched on your family and your friends. And something that we kind of need to focus on now, I guess, is more you personally. And I'm curious to know, because you and me, like we've always kind of just been on a basis of like, okay, the Creekcast in school, and we do this and this and this.
Yeah, like not like as of often, not as a buddy.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Like almost work 24/7.
Yeah, basically. So it brings the question to me, like, have you, because obviously for introverts it might be more difficult, but have you ever really opened up to either friends or family about your emotions or mental state?
Well, definitely my family. Like whenever, well, I would argue. Well, like kind of. Like I'm pretty closed about my feelings in general, because I don't know. It's just I have some trouble there, just expressing myself. It's not that I don't want to, but I'm generally more of
it's difficult.
Yeah, no nonsense kind of attitude, and I think that kind of harms me in the long run, because I tend not to express myself too much, like my actual feelings.
Yeah.
So to friends, never. They're like gamer, and that's it. We're playing games, but never like. I don't think I've ever had a true heart to heart, like with a friend. I don't know if that's it sounds like a bad thing, but I'm mainly like, I try to resolve my conflicts by myself.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Psychologists right now are going crazy. They're like,
like, oh, he's a fucking psychopath.
This guy, he's gonna have a breakdown soon.
Yeah, but like mostly whenever I have like an internal like emotional problem, I deal it by myself.
Yeah.
Like I go full willpower on that bitch and be like, okay, what's happening? How can I do this? I also tend to not to feel negative emotion. Like I like feeling negative emotions, because when I feel negative emotions, it means that I've been at a point with positive emotions that I can miss them. So it's just a natural part of life. Like I don't think you can just feel happy 24/7. That would be kind of creepy. It's the beauty of life, right? Like just feeling all this spectrum of emotions. But I tend to rationalize them first and feel them later if I feel like it.
Yeah.
Because like let's say I feel upset about an exam. Instead of going to my family or to a friend, I'm like, well, let's see, how much is this exam worth, or what can I do about it? Can I up my grade? Like I tend to like leave the stress behind and try to focus on what can I actually do, instead of actually feeling bad about it. Maybe with my girlfriend I just like talk about like, oh yeah, I kind of feel trash because of this, like, oh yeah, but that's just letting it out, but I resolve it by myself in the end.
Yeah, and I think that's something. I guess it's something like a gift, but at the same time it can harm you, because it's like you can sit down and be like, okay, well, this is a situation, so let's just put emotions aside and let's see how we can handle this.
Yeah, like let's put, I mean, because sometimes they just hold you back.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying like be an emotionless robot, because that's kind of cringe. But
that's kind of cringe.
Yeah, it's just like I don't want to be like the edgy, like for the people who aren't seeing, I'm wearing like a pink sweatshirt, so it's not like I'm the edgy like feelings only hold you back, like reject emotions, be rational, like Rick from Rick and Morty. Like just try to think with a cool head first. Like think like, okay, what can I do about this? And if you can't just cry it out, that usually works for me. Whenever like there's a too big of a mountain to overcome, that I'm just like, fuck. I can't rationalize this one through. Just get the stress out and get to work. Don't stress while you work, because it's just bad work in general.
It's important. It's important to like separate.
I think too many people try to put it at the same time, like work on emotions, and it doesn't, unless you're an artist, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're an artist and putting emotions aside, then just some crappy work, I would imagine. But when you're actually doing some practical, tangible work, if you put your emotions into that, it's not going to work out as good as it's going to be. It's just, you need to put yourself like mentally first and emotionally, not second, because like emotional health is really important, but you have to realize that your actual capabilities of rationalizing stuff will and always will be more important than how you feel, because people won't share. You can't make another person feel the way you feel, but you can make them rationalize the same way you're rationalizing.
I guess it's really a matter of balancing things out and kind of it's giving each thing its space and time, because if you don't give the space and time to your emotional status, then it becomes too much for people. And I mean, this kind of leads into the next kind of topic, which is a lot of what we're seeing nowadays is a lot of struggle with mental health and like stress, anxiety. It's coming up a lot, and it's something that is very present. And a lot of the times, depression or mental illnesses, to call them like that, I guess, they come up a lot in today's world because of how rapid pace and like work-based, stress-based everything kind of is. So have you ever really experienced like issues with your mental health?
Not necessarily issues, because I don't want to make anyone worry. Like I'm fine, dude. But I've had my like 3 breakdowns in the pandemic in general, and they are all exam related. Like fuck. Because I got so stressed out and overwhelmed with work that I couldn't function.
Yeah.
Like I got stuck. Like as you can imagine it as just a paper shredder. Like you threw a dictionary at it. Like I simply couldn't process the amount of work that was coming my way.
Yeah.
And what it implied. And that made me stop working. So it made me worry more because I wasn't getting work done. And more work was accumulating.
It piles up, yeah.
So I think it's pretty cool that's my max worry in this world right now. Like, school and stuff, instead of, am I getting evicted from my house because I can't pay?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are some real problems. So I'm not too stressed about it. My whole process, my care time for that was like, okay, fuck, I'm stressed. I took like 5 minutes just to meditate myself out of it, like get my stress in a ball and leave it there and confront it later. Get to work now. I talked with my girlfriend, like just like getting all my feelings out, like just an emotional dump there.
Yeah.
Like, and then try to encapsulate all those emotions and just, instead of just letting them hang me back, like hold me back, I canalize them into work, and boom, all the work's done. Good grades all around, no complaints, done. And then I will be like, oh, that was fucking awful. Like after the work, I wouldn't feel good. I would feel like I would feel the whiplash of just cramming all that work.
Yeah, of course.
So I would be like, fuck, and I would just game or read a book and sleep and and I'm fine. It's all cool now.
Okay.
So but sometimes you feel like the aura of school creeping in back, because now we have like college stuff. Yeah. So it's kind of like creeping in, but I'm like, okay, what can I do about it? And that's it. It's not not too much to it.
We've touched on school quite a bit in previous episodes, but it's like what you say as well, you feel university coming in as well, creeping in. But at the end of the day, it's like this is our choice. Like university is kind of what we want to do, and it's trying to follow or push ourselves to do what we think we're passionate about. Maybe we'll change in the future. Who knows? While school is just like, all right, do this thing you don't want to do.
Yeah, go do it. Like, fuck.
Yeah, and I think that's something very, very common. Like it's just, I think most people felt like that, especially this year as schools were like, oh, look, we can slip in some more work.
Like, ooh, some little work there. It's like, no, dude, please.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, all that like work stuff. I try to like canalize the stress into the actual work, into energy. I
Yeah.
would say, like right now, I'm feeling some hard whiplash. Like right now, like getting the actual feeling to do something, like the motif.
Yeah.
Like it gets hard sometimes. Like fuck. Like I have my guitar class right now. I'm like I have like to do my exercise and I have to record for the Creekcast, like getting the energy and like on top of all the college stuff, and I want to get some things work. So all that stress needs to be canalized into energy. So I'm trying to say right now.
Yeah, I think that's very relatable for a lot of people because it's kind of like you pushed forward for so long with school. I mean, it happened to me. Like suddenly, it just like it all collapses in on you, and you need that recovery after school because, like, otherwise, you're already broken down, and you're just breaking down the machine more. So I think that's something that a lot of people could relate to. And you also mentioned your girlfriend, which it's obviously an important part in your life and an important person. And I mean, I've never really had a deep conversation with you, so this is new information all around.
Yeah. I'm just trying to realize, we've never had like a real talk.
Exactly.
Yeah, too much work related stuff, I would say.
Yeah. But what role does your girlfriend, who was on the podcast, go listen to it Women's Day?
Episode 6?
Something. I don't know. It was voted best episode.
Yeah, best episode, Women's Day.
Check it out. So yeah, what do you think her role? I wouldn't even just say like nowadays, but I saw this relationship come through. So
you just said that up and coming.
Yeah, man. So what was it kind of like through the whole process, walking us through like what the impact has been of first getting to know her and then kind of starting to be this close to each other, and yeah, the impact that she's had on you as a person.
Yeah, not to put my whole personal life out there because yeah, I'm not too much of a fan of that, but in a nutshell, basically she has the role in my life of a companion more than anything, not of a, and kind of, yeah, basically a companion all around, because we often go through the same stuff, same school, same kind of stress all around, like some troubles. And there you can, like, we can lean on each other. Like, oh, fuck, I'm having this trouble. Who can I talk to? And she's like, there. Sometimes I don't want to, like, dump all that stuff with other people because I don't either trust them enough or it's too much of a bother.
That's a classic.
Yeah. So I give it. So, yeah, I dump some emotional stuff with her because she listens. And that's basically the most you can get out of it, like aside from all the normal couple stuff, like not to get into more into that kind of stuff, like because it's my personal life, so that's kind of so for just in general for you to get you dear listener to get an idea of what kind of people surround me, it's like my support net is there.
Mm-hmm.
That and she keeps me afloat most of the time. Like, oh, if I have a really big trouble, like sometimes I talk it through with her. Not necessarily because she solves my problems, but
Yeah.
it's I can almost talk to myself
Mm.
in another person and walk myself through the problems and then like rise above.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's some pretty good value, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. It's just support and somebody that you can really trust with these things, and that, as you said, it's kind of like yourself, but more calm.
Yeah.
And they can help you through that moment to kind of
Because
okay,
you
we're back.
you kind of become the person you're dating like for a while. Like you start to share values and stuff. So yeah, like just different perspectives on other stuff because we have some dramatic differences in opinion that I
Yeah.
won't bring here because that's a whole new episode.
A versus.
An actual versus. But yeah, it's just to new perspectives, new ways of thinking, but at the same time, another person who I can really level with and try to rationalize things through, or just like straight up just vibe with. I think that's the most important part, like having that idle time of just understanding each other by not even in words, like just in general.
Just existing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good answer. And it's been kind of looking into your, I guess, your worst parts or your worst moments in a way. So just before we start closing it up, it's always good to know what the best experience moment has been in a person's life. So whether it be a moment or a year or a person, what would you kind of encapsulate as the best thing in your life?
Well, I don't think I have a specific moment, but I have like multiple encapsulate like microcosms of just my general space. And that's a thing that my father always says, like, think of the top 3 best moments in your life and they will always like 2 out of 3 will be on nature. And I would say, like, without relating to people, like excluding people out of these moments, like I would argue that some of the best moments are with myself. I enjoy my company and just because at the end of the day, I'm the number one person that's going to be there 24/7.
I thought you were just going to end it at I'm the number one person.
I'm the number one person. But in general, like, even if you have lots of people that love you or care for you, they won't always be there. Not because they don't want to, like just circumstances of life. Like maybe you need someone to be there. You have to create a good relationship with you. And I would say that the best moments are like just me either walking or skiing or in a bicycle on nature. With me just being like, this is cool. Like no deep thoughts, not a deep reflection of myself and just know how the cosmos works.
Just being yourself.
Yeah, just being in the moment, like those little things. Be like, this is cool as fuck.
Yeah, because you're the guarantee. Like you're the only guarantee that'll be with you till you die.
Like 100%. Like I would argue that like some people mentioned here, I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. I hope, but I have no 100% guarantee. Maybe they will die, and I won't. Just that kind of stuff. It's always present in my mind. So I'll be like, well, I have to take care of myself because at the end, maybe sometimes I would be the only person that will.
Yeah.
So if I don't have my back, then who will?
Yeah.
So I have my own back to keep myself up there. And yeah, pretty good. It's working so far. No complaints.
You're number one.
I'm number one. But if you have a takeaway from this episode, I'm number one.
That's it. Massive ego.
massive ego. And super, just in general, a great person. Give me prize. I don't know.
And yeah, obviously, there's no other way of closing this out if it's not with the big three.
Oh shit! The big
yeah,
three.
Man, you're getting the big three.
I don't know why I didn't see this one coming.
So, I mean, you already know them, but who is the biggest inspiration in your life?
Oh, like not to throw shade on other family members or anything, but I would say like Easy, my father.
Mm-hmm.
Like Easy. Like some people say like celebrities or that stuff. They don't actually know those people.
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, because like I was about to say that like this episode aren't like on chronological order. It is actually like the 5th episode we're recording. So with a future guest, like he said, like a celebrity, not to spoil the answer. But like, you don't actually know those people.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, I've been living with my father all my life. So I've seen the downs, I've seen the ups, I've seen a large amount of his life. Obviously, when with a point where he's a father, right? Like I don't know his entire life. Well, I do.
Yeah.
Well, not actually, but I have a better idea of who he is now more than ever. And yeah, just in general, like his character of getting shit done, I would say. Because if like the amount of willpower on that man is fucking surreal.
Ridiculous.
Surreal. Like if he says that something's gonna happen, it's fucking happens. It's like it's surreal, and I try to bring that part into my life, like the whole character and getting shit done. Because if someone else won't have your back, so if you have that character built into you to get stuff done. Yeah. Like by yourself, you're set for life. That just getting the whole how to say this, just encapsulating the whole essence of my father. I would say, doing things, not for just because you have to, because you want to.
Yeah,
and having that attitude of fuck everything, I can do it. I would say that's the main takeaway, and I'd say that's why he's my biggest inspiration.
Yeah, that's usually what I expect from an answer. Like when we do these, and no shade to any of the guests, like they're always great answers, but when they come from personal relationships, you can really tell that's a deep inspiration for people. So yeah. Next one. You're gonna have to get this shit done because your dad if he's your inspiration, you gotta make these 3 future goals happen. So what are they?
Okay, right now, some big term, I would say. I don't tend to plan too far ahead because shit tends to
happen,
not go as you plan.
Yeah.
So I tend to just a few years, like 3 to 4 years is a good expectancy to plan ahead, and farther is just kind of not that realistic. So right now, longest term, get an anti-system house. But what I mean by that is just a house that functions on its own without help from the outside world.
Yeah.
Solar panels, filtering water, my own food, all that good stuff. If you know, you know.
Sustainability, bitch.
Yeah, there's someone listening. If you know, you know. And it looks like I'm having many animals there. Like,
Yeah.
just in general, I would say that's the farthest goal that I have so far.
That's a pretty lit goal.
Yeah, just having, I don't know, I like the idea of having a self-sustaining home that needs no help from others. I think that's a theme this episode.
Yeah.
Like, do it yourself.
Yeah.
Because
Very
no
much.
one else will. No one else will carry you to where you want to go.
If you want to learn something from this episode with your co-host, it's do this shit by yourself.
Yeah, do it by yourself. Well, not by yourself, but yeah. don't go full lone wolf. But no one else will carry you to where you want to go except for yourself.
Yeah.
Second goal, get to uni outside of this godforsaken country. Good uni, a good degree, not go that far into depth. And yeah, just study, be happy, meet new people,
Live life.
new country, live, laugh, live,
Laugh, love. Make millions off of the Creekcast.
Scam all those guests that we're taking advantage of. It's a joke. PSA.
Yeah, don't stop listening.
That's a joke. And the most recent big goal, the trip that I talked about at the very beginning of this episode. Go on a trip around the world. Not around the world, but kind of focus on a little part of Asia and Europe.
Yeah.
Go meet those places just to get a better world view. And just because it's cool. Like,
edgy.
I want to go on trips. It's cool.
Yeah.
Just in general, I want to meet new people, meet new places.
Yeah, widen your perspective.
Yeah, it sounds cool. Like, going on trips is a really big part of my life.
Yeah.
So I think extending that to, it's a full year. Like, I'm disappearing for a whole year. Like, once I'm done with high school, so a full year of just traveling, and then uni.
Yeah, you're gonna miss Huerta for a whole year. I'm gonna have to find a new guest, a new co-host.
I can still do episodes. Come on, like, we get guests from the other side of the hemisphere.
That is true.
We can keep this up.
Just don't go to the Himalayas where there's no signal.
I'll bring an Ethernet cable. And we're missing one question.
The biggest of them all.
Which
if you're a fan of the Creekcast.
You know.
We have to say it because it's just such an important question. What mark do you want to leave on this world? Apart from being alone.
Yeah, that's that whole theme might have come wrong. Just to clarify, I'm not saying like be alone and be a lone wolf. Just like keep in mind that you are your best ally.
Everybody in your life is just gonna be like, ooh, this guy.
This guy doesn't need us. Like, he doesn't want us around.
Yeah, let's just leave.
Saying that, fucker. Like, I prioritize sometimes like my health, and my stuff because I'm going the one. I'm with me 24/7, so might as well like myself. But what mark do I want to live in this world? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I keep struggling with the idea of I don't give two fucks what happens to this planet. I want to live my life. Be alone.
Be alone.
Yeah, like I don't care what happens to this planet in the grand cosmos of things. Doesn't matter. Like any mark that you want to live in this world doesn't really matter. It's only for you. So might as well be happy with yourself, and the only mark that you really need to is just to yourself. That's one idea that I'm struggling with. And the main idea that's more prominent with my thinking and decision making, it's like I just want to like leave a positive change with the people that I interact with in general. Like I don't want, well, I do, but inventing the cure of cancer would be a pretty big positive mark for all of the people there.
Yeah.
But with the people that I interact, I want to like leave them better than they were before. Sounds a little narcissistic. Like, yeah, once you interact with me, you're better off.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
that's
more
my
like
goal. And
it's more like helping people.
Yeah.
Well, not helping people, but yeah, I mean, it's not, I don't think it's narcissistic. It's like leaving your mark, not necessarily on the whole world, but what I guess you could consider your world, which is like the people you come and interact with.
Because at the end of the day, most of us won't leave a tangible mark on this world that people will be like, oh, yeah. That statue is of that guy.
That guy.
Yeah, it's like not gonna happen. So,
damn it, man! I was expecting the statue of the Creekcast.
Oh, I'm saying most people. I'm saying most people.
Oh yeah,
the Creekcast is obviously the exception.
Yeah, we're not peasants.
We're not dirty, normal peasants.
It's a joke.
It's a joke. Okay, PSA. Yeah, just in general, it's a cold, uncaring universe, and we're just chemical reactions. I'm going full Rick and Morty on this bitch.
I can tell.
But it's true. Like, we're just chemical reactions, just walking. There's no true meaning to anything. Oh yeah, I'm #atheist. If you were wondering.
Oh yeah. #atheist, baby.
Yeah, because I don't think there's a rhyme or reason to how this world works, but that really emphasizes my second point, that nothing really works or matters. It's just yourself and your little world. So might as well make existence for other people and yourself more pleasant. Like, why not? Like, it doesn't really matter, but might as well enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
you. that's been you.
Me. That has been me.
We have uncovered the first the first host of the Creekcast. I got to know you.
Yeah.
Apart from just saying like, hey, let's record today.
Let's record. Okay. The fucking thing crashed.
God damn it, man.
Yeah. So next episode, it's going to be your episode. Looking forward to that, unveiling who is actually Masa.
Who am I? Is the real question.
Hope you have enjoyed this episode. It went like long, like it's like 55 minutes without editing.
Yeah, but I think it was enjoyable. I think we made it interesting. I hope.
Yeah.
If not, then we probably shouldn't be podcasting anymore.
Yeah. Fun. Well, we'll keep it going. New season, new episodes.
New look.
Firewall.
Boom, baby.
Boom. New intro, new stuff. Good shit. See you next Monday with a new episode of Who is Masa to get you to know your host. But again, if you didn't get the idea of why we're doing this, it's in order for you to know where we're coming from, because sometimes we get some hot takes. Like last time on the finale, we had some Israel-Palestine talk, and some people got upset.
Yeah.
Just for you, just for you to know where we're coming from.
To have a more personal connection with us, because
with a listener,
we don't just want to make it like podcast and we just take your streams. We want to build a connection there
for you to know us.
Yeah.
Now you know a part of me. I won't say that you completely know me, because you don't. You don't know me.
But you know a little bit more.
Now you know the main course of how I work. Just generally, just
Yeah, I think people will be able to understand your views and the way you are much better with this, because maybe before it was like, where did this guy come from?
yeah, what's happening? So now you know, Peterson students from living in Mexico, 18 years old, have your back because no one else will. The world is meaningless, but that doesn't
Hashtag die alone.
Yeah, the world is meaningless, but it doesn't mean that you can't give it any meaning. That's a nice one.
that one's for the trailer.
For the records. The world is meaningless, but that doesn't mean that you can't give it any meaning.
Boom.
You can do it yourself, believe in yourself, because no one else will.
Check out our Twitter, our YouTube.
Twitter, YouTube,
Instagram, logo.
At _Creeketz. That's 2 E's with a K and a Z. YouTube, please check it out. The Creekcast, as you know us.
Spread the word.
It has more content to it. Like, it has some editing there. It's not just the same thing.
Get us to 100 streams per episode, please.
Because there we can get money.
Yeah, come on, guys.
So, see you next Monday,
week.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Next week.
It's been an absolute
Monday,
pleasure.
Maybe we change it. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what else? I was thinking we should have like a formal way of saying goodbye.
Yeah.
Not just like, okay.
Do we get it here on the spot?
Yeah, let's improv.
Creek you later.
Creek you later.
No, that sucks.
Okay, before all you listeners turn off, let's I got it. Let's just, see you next week on the official Creekcast Season 2 Firewall. Creaky later.
Creaky later. Bye-bye.